there's another way that was added in later years to progression and was a standard feature in Macola, yes, and that's transit inventory. So what I can do if I'd like is I can go and add a in-transit warehouse or an in-transit transaction, saying I wish to transact and create a in-transit transaction. I'm going to say it's not pending, but that it's been approved. And I'm going to go ahead and say it originates from MA. It has an in-transit location of IT, and it's going to move to location CA. Everybody's somewhat familiar with that? All right. And we can choose what items we want to move and put on the trailer, for instance. No, I don't want to add landed costs. So now I'm also going to add a bolt 2, and I'm going to transfer 3 of those. And no, I don't want landed costs. Now I have a in-transit transaction to move these 2 items from MA. Apparently what they're going to do is they're going to get on a truck, in which case they're going to be in the in-transit location. And then once they're in California, they're going to move from the in-transit location out to California. So in order to transact this, what we're going to do is we're going to load the truck. And the way we load the truck is we just go in and use the gun, and we scan these items as we put them on the truck. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called an in-transit ship. And what we're going to do is take the transaction that we just created, and we're going to say that we've actually put this item on the truck. And notice that it's going from MA to the in-transit location. We're going to do bolt. We're going to tell it what bin it came out of. And, oh, bolt is not a binned item, but bolt 2 is. And we're going to tell it that we packed 10. Now I'm going to actually stop right there and take a look at the multi-level item view, because what happened now is the multi-level item view should show that that item has now moved from the MA warehouse and into the in-transit warehouse. And you can see now we have 10 in the in-transit warehouse. If we continue on, we're going to go ahead and now finish up that transaction, because the whole concept here is the warehouse management person is standing out back, loading the truck, and showing and identifying what's actually being loaded as it's being loaded onto the truck. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and say we're shipping 3 of these and let it transact. Okay. Now let's say that the California warehouse called up and said, you know, those the high grade bolts, we just found a whole big box of them in the back, and we don't need them after all. Can you go ahead and just pull those off the truck? We can now do that by doing what's called an in-transit unship. So we can go into the in-transit unship, go back and pull up the inventory transaction, and tell it which item. Sorry, the noise in the background there. And tell it which item we're pulling off the truck and what bin we're putting it back into and how many. Oh. And 3. And save it. And now that in-transit piece has been pulled off of that in-transit document, and now we're only transferring bolts. And the only thing left to do is once it gets to California, they have their own gun. We go into the in-transit, oops, not unreceive, Andy, in-transit receive. There it is. Now we simply receive that product into my California warehouse. So you can see that it's going from in-transit to California. We're telling it the bolt came in, and we're telling it now that it's going, and we actually did receive 10 of them. Or if 2 of them fell off the back of the truck on the way over there, we can identify that we didn't actually get 10, we actually got 8. But if I say 10, save it, and now look at my multi-level item view again, we can see that we have none remaining in the in-transit location, and all of them now have been received into the California warehouse.